All right. Marcellus.
Man.
This is just the outgrowth of reality TV. These are child stars, and they're quitters. And Lorenzo can be upset. You can be upset.
Yeah.
But quitting, I don't think it's taboo anymore.
Is it taboo? That's a good conversation. Let's go here. He's not a pioneer of quitting. He's the next iteration, the deviation from what we've seen of late, from the stars of the NFL all the way down to Vontae Davis. The breadcrumbs for this situation we saw a few years ago when you talk about Pro Bowl level. How about Hall of Fame level players in Patrick Willis and Calvin Johnson? Remember those breadcrumbs that were laid in those moments, which basically said that no player unconditionally loves the game of football. Not a player that has ever stepped on that field has unconditionally loved the game of football. You look at what football has done to all these players. It chose them. They didn't choose football. Let's go back to the pyramid of athletics, the pyramid of athleticism. It all starts at the top, and we know what sport that is. The lovely game of basketball. The game of basketball where if you get hit, you get 2 free throws. Not if you get hit, coach said, go back out there. I don't give a damn about you. And we all have fallen down to the game of football. We didn't land on football. Football landed on us. And you don't believe me? Ask Tony Gonzalez if he had a Charlie Ward situation. Would he have chose the lovely gridiron, or would he have chosen those long baggy shorts and a couple free throws? We know the answer to this. So Vontae Davis is now highlighting what other star players have told you. We don't love football like you think. We love it for what it gives us until we get to that place.
You said a mouthful.
Okay.
You said a mouthful.
Let's go here.
And there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. But I can't go all the way there that people are falling into football because they're not great basketball players.
Oh, really? Jimmy Graham? You want to keep going?
No, listen.
Antonio Gates?
Look, there's a lot of great examples.
Flip it, though. Flip your scenario on its head. How many basketball players said, nah, man, I want to go play football? I'll wait.
Look.
I'll wait.
Football is a game for people with massive hearts and a little bit crazy. You got to be different.
There's
no question about it. But there are some guys.
I'm
going to give you one.
Okay.
I'm going to give you one. Ray Lewis would choose football every day.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis would choose football every day of the week.
Yeah, and Ray Lewis also can't play point guard either. 5'11", 240 point guard.
What I'm saying is, if Ray could have been a basketball player, look, you know who's going to be on our show later? Greg Jennings.
Yes.
Hell of a basketball player, went and played football instead.
Terrell Owens is a hell of a basketball player, too. But you know what? He went and played what he could play, which is the game of football.
No. Terrell Owens could have played college basketball. Greg Jennings certainly could have.
Right.
Again, so I can't go all the way there, but you've made a hell of a point. Let me ask you this question. Let's go. Let's narrow in on Vontae Davis.
Let's do it.
Do you have Lorenzo Alexander, no respect for him, thought it was the most disrespectful act in the world? Do you have any respect for Vontae for keeping it that real? That, like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I'm not going to.
Absolutely, I have respect for him. I have more respect for him. Tremendous respect for him to have the courage to talk about what he really feels despite what the reaction would be. Think about what he did. He basically said, it's over. And I know it's over. And he went to a place where a lot of football players desire to go. Because I want to take you into the world of football that's beyond the cheers, that's beyond the boos, beyond the paychecks, beyond all the accolade. Just the day-to-day rigors of that sport. And you know what it is. We've all heard it in cliche, but I don't think we've internalized it. It goes like this. You play on Sunday, you get all this love. Win or lose, you're still one of the most celebrated players and people walking this planet. Then Monday is a recovery day. That means you can walk around, you go to Cheesecake Factory, you can come to watch some film, we could jog around, but we know you cannot perform physical activities. Tuesday, we call it Tuesday Toradol Tuesday. That means all the medicine, all the injections, all the rigors of that game has to wear off. Then Wednesday, we may start to go at it again. Thursday, you start to feel normal again. Thursday, you feel normal again from a Sunday performance. The point of this is, no one raises their hand and says, That's what I want to do, Daddy. On a Wednesday practice, I want to hit my head 60 times into this 300-pounder and say that was just another day. That's not how the game goes. And Vontae went to a place where a lot of players internally, inside, they're raising their hands as well.
Do they have to raise their hand in the middle of a game? You know, it can't wait till the end of the game. He was 30 minutes. He was 30 more snaps. Mm-hmm. And then he could have quit, and there would virtually be no controversy if he did that. He had 30 more snaps to go. He's prepared all week. Lorenzo and them are sitting around like, hey, man, we prepared all week. We're trying to win a game. You still respect in the middle of a game walking away.
Yeah, that's where I will actually take some points away from his act and his actions. I rewind back to the first time I wanted to quit the game of football. I was 12 years young. And I remember this is my fourth year playing football, Pop Warner level. We never lost a game. I'm getting 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. I mean, I'm getting recruited by high schools. It's next level love in elementary school. I'm the man. And I remember watching my friends ride by on their bikes and playing Nintendo. And I looked at my daddy and I said, Daddy, I want to quit. And he said, boy, why you want to quit? I said, I'm just tired. It hurts. And all my friends are having fun, not thinking about my future, not thinking about sacrificing for my future. My dad said these simple words: you can't quit something you start. At the end of the season, you want to quit? Your choice. No more football, but you're going to finish what you started. If Vontae's call to his grandmother could have went the way I wanted it to go, Grandma would have said, boy, you got to finish what you start, and let's talk about this at the end of the season.
I want to finish on your last point or your big point about football players and wanting to quit and how hard. Look, it is. Football's only fun on game day.
Preach.
The rest of it is not fun.
Man.
But what I'll say, though, the exalted place that football players have in this society, to me, justifies the sacrifice. No pain, no gain.
Right.
That applies beyond sports. That applies to the rest of life. If you want to live in that exalted place, if you want to achieve something that everybody has to sit back and go, damn, that's incredible. Again, when I see LeBron and a lot of the basketball players, I look and see like God kissed them at birth, in the womb. Mm-hmm. He kissed them in a way that other people just don't get kissed, and therefore they're great basketball players. The same thing happens in football, but it requires a massive amount of sacrifice and work to even take advantage of whatever gifts God gave you. And so the level of respect you can ask as a warrior and as a champion in football is unlike anything else in American society, and it makes it worth it to me.
I totally agree with that. The rewards you get from it. To get a collective of guys, 53 in the pro level, hundreds on the high school team and hundreds on the collegiate team, to all make that ultimate sacrifice. We all know we're sitting there looking at each other like, man, if you don't show up, I won't show up. But you did show up, so I must show up. No matter if I could walk that day, I will run to the ball. No matter how it feels in that moment, I will do all I can. To have that as a collective emotion and then to actually achieve the goal that all of us are looking at differently, but we have to get to one place on the same page, no other sport can get you to that place. That said, if we could choose the other way, path of less resistance, we would have.